Hello, today I'm going to show you some basics of your fluorescent tubes that you would mainly have. These are what you mainly have in your building or your house. First of all, we have the T8. The T8 is your basic tube. This is what you'd mainly have. There are problems with these. First of all, is that they do not give as much energy efficiency. Although they're mainly your basic ones, these are what you mainly have all the time. T8. And of course this is a green one. I do not have a white one. I do have the T12 which is white, but this is green. Of course it appears white until illuminated. If you've seen the theme video I made earlier, this is what you probably see. Now the next one you basically have will be T12. Now T12 takes a lot of energy. This is a 40 watt. This is only a 36. So this one is a little more efficient than that one there. T12 or F40 T12. This is an F36 T8. So this is what you used to have. These were the first ever fluorescent tubes out, I think. These are your old vintage T12 tubes. They're still available, these, but they're not going to be for long. Now this is an old vintage one. You see, it's got those old end caps on it. This is those new end caps. And then you would have your average tube, your replacement, which will be this one right here. This is an LED. This is only a 13 watt tube, so this is even more efficient than that. There is another one. There will be one here which we call a T5. You would need an adapter to be able to put that in a T8 fitting. So you'd have that. So you'd go T12, T8, then it'll go T5, then LED. So you're going from the energy wasting to the energy saving. So if you have a fluorescent tube, I would recommend you change to one of these, because these are energy efficient and these emit no ultraviolet or radiation. This is it's just all that's in here. It's just air in there. All that's in there is just air, fresh air, and inside these is gas. So, and of course the gas inside is toxic. So if they break and you breathe it, you're in trouble. But with this, it's not. All it is just little diodes that emit the light. All these LED tubes come in as white. Trying to get in different colours is quite difficult. The only colours I have is just pink and white in LED. But I do have other colours in fluoros. T8 the fluoros. You may have seen my other fluorescent tubes before. Yeah, and of course this is hardened. This is strong. Okay, so if you drop this, you'll stand up to it and it will not break. But if you drop those, you're going to get a smash. Okay, so these break if you drop them, but this does not. This here gives a higher resistance to dropping, and it's just hard. It's just one heck of a tremendous tube. And of course, these LED tubes are bright. They can blind you, so I would not recommend you look directly in them unless this is a clear one. They do come in coated with like those two there. Those ones aren't as bright as this. So those ones can be stared at, but these ones are just so bright. They can blind you. Just because they do not emit long-wave ultraviolet radiation does not mean they're safe to look at. Okay, now these have phosphor coating on them. There is another one which is called a genocidal fluorescent tube, which has got no phosphor coating. All it is just clear glass, like a window. Now, those clear ones are dangerous because they do emit high waves of long-wave ultraviolet radiation. And that is not good for your eyes or your body. So if you do have one of those, you should wear protective eyewear or protective armour, because there's no phosphorus to absorb the ultraviolet, where close exposure to it may cause 17 degrees of eye damage and skin damage. As with these do not emit it, and these are safer. These are a lot safe and a lot more better. And of course I'm going to show you these turning on. I do have my Super Gold Hawk out, and with the Super Gold Hawk, you see those big lamp holders? It's chambered in T12. Opposed to my White Hawk, it's got small lamp holders, not really suitable for T12. If you had a standard Gold Hawk, which would just be with the small lamp holders, it's not suitable for T12. It will just be for these. But this one here is suitable for all three. And we're going to fire up. Of course, these two are preheat. This one's rapid start. I do have a rapid start LED tube, but we'll bring this over, and we'll start off with the with the basic, the T8. Okay, so this button's for fluorescent and LED. I haven't got a sticker on it. I should put a sticker on it. Okay, just get that in, and now we'll fire it up. Of course, it's green. This is your standard basic tube. Of course on camera all you see is white, but this is your basic one. This is what you mainly have. Okay, so this is your basic. So that's what you mainly have in your building or in your house or in your garage, or sometimes this is your basic one. This is basic. That's your basic one. Okay, so we'll turn that off, and since that this is the gold, since that this is super, and since that this is the gold super gold hot super, and got big lamp holders, we'll put the T12 in here, the big boy. Well, this is T12 is as big as it gets with the Australian fluorescent tube. See, big lamp holders. So I'll fire it up. Of course it's blinky. At least it's, of course it's blink happy. And of course this tube is old. As you can see, the ends are starting to blacken. So this tube's probably nearly at the end of its life. But once it pops, I'll just buy another one. I think Mrs. Lottie has another T12 in her. I am going to get her LED tubes, so I'll probably take the T12 out of there, because that one's newer than this one here. Okay, so yeah, that's what you'd use. That's what you used to have. And of course, those take a lot of energy, so I would not recommend this. So, because it just takes a lot of energy. With that, I'm pretty sure you can see the cathodes in this tube here. There's cathodes on either side which make the tube work. Okay, and of course these do come in different colours. But I don't think they make them in different colours anymore. They do with these. Okay, so I'll take this out of there. And of course it's because since that's a super gold off, it's chambered in T12. Actually, when I made the first video on this baton, I didn't actually show it with a T12. Okay, now we'll undo this starter, and we'll put in the LED tube. This is your basic. This is your average tube. This is what you change over from to. See? You change over to that. And of course that's bright. That there would replace these. Okay, so if you got a T12 or a T8, I would recommend you change over to LED, because it's an energy efficient light bulb. You can also change to T5, that's energy efficient as well, but it's not as efficient as that. So I would not recommend any of the fluorescent tubes at all. Just go to LED. Of course, with this LED tube, you don't need a starter. There is another LED tube which is called preheat, which comes with a starter. You must put that starter in order to use the tube. It's just like these. You have to have the starter in order to use it, otherwise it will not come on. Like you could throw that switch all day long without the starter. With these, it's going to do nothing. You must put that starter in order for it. If it was an electronic ballast, it would turn on without a starter. But this is a preheat ballast, so it's different. The difference between preheat and electronic has the starters built in the ballast, so if something goes wrong with the starters, you have to replace the whole ballast. As with preheat, if something goes wrong with the starter, you can just replace it without having to take the plate off. With some of these preheat battens, the starters that are actually inside the batten, they'll actually sit up inside there like that, which means you have to take the plate off. But with this one's got a bored-through plate, which means you see the starter hole there. So this one's got a bored-through plate, so it's a lot easier to change your tube and your starter. Now let me show you. I'm going to put this back in without the starter, and you're going to see. Watch what happens. Let me just get that's if I can get it in. Back in there. Now with these, you have to put it on a 35-degree angle, because they're not like those other ones. Now I've got no starter. I'm going to throw the switch, and you watch what happens. Nothing. Because it needs a starter. That's why it's called a preheat. It'll work one way. I can throw that switch all day long, and it's going to do nothing. Same with the T12. Okay, you've got to have the starter in order for it to start. Oh. Well, I guess with the T12, that's all it's going to do. It's just going to light up like that. That's all you're going to get out of that. Just a faint bit of light. All you're going to get is just a faint bit of light. So if you put the starter in, that will start up and you get more light. With T12, you only get a faint bit of light out of it, because it hasn't been started yet, because there's no starter to strike it. But with this, you take the starter out. So what you do when you're installing the LED tube, you take your starter out, you stick this in, you stick it in, so I can get it in. I'm having trouble getting this thing in. You take the starter out, you stick it in, that's if I can get it in. Of course I've said that for a couple of times. Yep. and then you throw the switch and on you go, then you're saving energy. This reduces your electric bill, and this is safer, no radiation, no nothing. And of course these are bright because they're replacing things. They also make LED floodlights, high bay lights. LED is starting to rule now. These ruled like nearly forever. These ruled like, these were boss. These were high tech until this came out. So this is now high tech. Okay? Same with the iPads and the iPhones. There's an iPhone 6 coming out soon, in spring of 2014. But if you're living in America, it will be autumn time. In Australia, it's spring. Okay? There's also iOS 8 as well, also coming out soon. So, and just be aware, okay? We're not talking about Apple products, we're talking about lights, but, okay? So, yeah. So that's the 3 basic types of fluorescent tubes. So, I guess, I hope you enjoyed, and also please leave a comment, and that will be it.